this area for a year now, and I'm gonna tell you, our life has literally been transformed by being connected with you and Doxy and your family and what's getting ready to happen. My goodness, I'm telling you, I'm pumped. So I don't want to take up a whole bunch of time, but I'm honored. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored
Absolutely.
to be among the family, and let's get to it.
Let's
Let's
jump
get
into
to
it.
it.
Very good. Well, first of all, thank you all again for joining us tonight. I think tonight is really important to me. The fact that we are doing this. This has been in my heart, it's been in my mind for so long, and to be able to actually jump out and do this is a big goal that we have been able to accomplish. But it's not just about me doing this myself. And I've been pushing this out for the last couple of days just to let people know, listen, anytime someone is giving away something free, I think most people have a negative connotation in their mindset. Then when you say free, is it really free? Yes, it's free. This seminar is free. And the reason why is because it's been really hard for me to pull out of my mind what I've been doing for over 20 years. If any of you all have not gotten the book, you have saw that I'm a testament. I know that in the video we posted that I had a chance to save over 90 million, but now since then it bumped up to $100 million that I've had a chance to save. And so I want to be able to give these principles to you, not just about the results, but what did it take for me to get to the level of gaining the results, or even more than that? What was it that put me in position that people allowed me to come in to walk them through a journey to give them some results? And it's much, much more than what I'm talking about. So without further ado, I promise that I want to be before you for maybe 40 minutes, not going to be long. This is completely different. What's up, Demarcus? Thank you for being, Demarius, thank you for being here from Mississippi. The SIP is in the house. Thank you for being here. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that we can go ahead and jump into the lesson for the night. So how this is going to work out tonight is this, I'm gonna come before you now for maybe, let's see, I'm gonna come before you now for, let me move myself over here so I can see, for maybe 40 minutes. And in this 40 minutes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach for about 40 minutes, teach a lesson. I'm not gonna preach, I'm not gonna hoop. I promise you that is not what this is about. I'm gonna teach for about 40 minutes. And then once I teach, I'm gonna open up for you all to ask me any questions in reference to why did I write the book? Any questions about what did you gain out of this webinar? Because of course, my biggest heart is to be able to add value back to your life. So as you see here, before I get started, I want to make sure that you all do me a favor. I see we have several people on here already. Be sure to text this line. Some of you all have been on my old text line, but I want to drive the traffic to this text line. It gives me a lot more flexibility to reach you and to give you more information faster, of course, with all of the different platforms that we have. So I want you to do me a favor. Text this number, 832-734-5203. I want you to text this number now. Everything about what I'm going to show you to do now tonight is about acting now. When you see opportunities, you take the opportunity to act right now. You don't wait. You don't put yourself on hold. Don't procrastinate. If you are a procrastinator, that's going to be the hardest thing for you to do, is to roll with me being a procrastinator, because I like for people to act now. Somebody put in the comments, say act now. I want you to act now, because if you have this attitude of acting now, when you realize that there is an opportunity, then the opportunity will give you the increase in your life that you have never experienced before. And the reason why, because sometimes opportunities come and we don't even know that it's an opportunity, because we have something built in our mindset to think that someone is trying to get over on us. And I want to break that down. I don't want to break that out of your mind, for you to understand that the journey that I'm trying to take you on is actually a journey that's really here to help you. And out of all my life, I believe the biggest value that I can give to you, and you can see the success that I have gained so far, is because I really have been adding value to people's lives all my career. But there are certain things I want to give you. So as we get started with this, let's jump into the teaching now. So who is Adrian Singleton? Who is Adrian Singleton? Who is he? I'm showing you this picture for a reason. It's not to brag on myself, but if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And I want to let you know the reason why I'm doing this is because doing certain things that I'm going to show you, it sets you apart from the rest of the crowd. How do you separate yourself from everybody else? Because we are in a competitive world, whether you realize it or not. The reason why I can't teach this on certain platform, and I can teach this in the business platform, and I'm so great in this platform because I understand this concept, that there's always a gap that I have to divide myself. I know that I played receiver in college, and one thing that my coach, one of the greatest coaches I had to tell me, is that whenever you're running a route, you have to always make sure you can do something, lean into the defensive back just to create some gap to separate yourself so the quarterback can have enough room to drop the ball into your arms. The same exact thing I want to teach you tonight is how do you create that gap between you and everyone else in the world? It's not you comparing yourself to people. It's you building yourself so that when an opportunity is there, you are the person for the opportunity. But before you even do that, it's all about your mind. So I'm going to take you through just a little bit synopsis of who I am. So first you can see my certifications. And the reason why I'm showing you my certifications is because listen to this. Every single skill set that I had, I didn't have to pay a dime for it. Every single skill, my education, I didn't have to pay a dime. Now, of course, a little bit on my master's degree, I had to pay some, but somebody paid for it for me. Every skill or every certification that I need, I had someone else to pay for it for me so that I can add value to my life to be able to do what I'm doing today. So those are principles that I want to give you so that if you understand these principles, there's nothing no one can stop you from doing. But you first have to understand how to set yourself up. You know, most of us, we go to school and we choose a degree that doesn't even benefit who we really are. So I want to show you that through this. My skill set is I'm a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. Some of you all may, what is that? I never heard of it before. Okay, I'll give you more details about that later on. I am a DISC personality expert. I'm an executive director, certified speaker, and training coach with the John Maxwell team. I have many great coaches. John Maxwell is one. Bob Proctor is one of the best one. Martin Williams is one of the best. I've even had a chance to sit through a lot of ET's coaching programs. I've been a part of a lot of them. And I put myself in these because I have invested tens of thousands of dollars into my life so that I can be positioned to help you out today. Some of my hobbies, these are things that you need to see because I am developing a life that I enjoy, but I also have to have balance with this life. So you see my hobbies. I'm a committed LSU fan that creates conversation in different environments. My personal profile, it shows 19 years, but it's 20 years now. 17 years of diverse, continuous improvement experience, trained over 1,000 plus employees, track record of $100 million in savings. I have 2 years of training with a Lean Sensei. That doesn't matter right now, but in this arena, the language in this arena, it stands out to everyone. It shows my achievements and my education. Why are these things so important? Listen, it's not bragging on yourself, but you have to be confident in yourself that if you don't advertise yourself, no one else will do this for you. See, I made a mistake in my beginning, first part of my career, trying to allow someone else to talk about myself. But the more I figured this out is that everyone wanted to put themselves in position so that they can receive the raise, so they can receive the opportunity to sit in the room with the executives to show their skill set. So I had to learn the hard way, and I missed a lot of opportunities. But the more I began to understand what I'm going to teach you tonight, it changed the whole trajectory of my life. It changed how I saw myself when I walked into the industry. Check this out here. Let me stop sharing my screen for 1 second. I want to do one thing. 1 second. Let me come out of this 1 second. I want to share the whole entire thing so you can see everything. Very good. Okay, that's what I want to see here. So let me go back here. Okay, so also I want to prove to you this. Again, I'm showing you my track record. Anyone who wants to see you have to be able to explain your track record. So what I'm doing tonight, again, 20 years experience. I've had a chance to do this in 6 different countries. I show 5 countries on here. I show I've been to Aberdeen, Scotland. I've been to Hamburg, Germany. I've been to South Korea. I've been to Mexico. I've been to China. I've even been to Canada. Just don't have a picture of that. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I have intentionally built a holistic career so that I can be able to position myself to train people as yourself. You know, there are a lot of coaching programs to where they try to give you coaching experiences, but they don't have the experience to be in that arena themselves. You know, I can easily tell when someone read a book and try to teach me something, but there is something different when I have someone that's been there and done that, and they can come back to help me win in the situation. So you may ask, why did I teach? What can I expect out of the seminar? I'm going to teach you 3 things. I'm going to teach you 3 things out of the seminar that's guaranteed that you're going to learn from the seminar. Number 1 is this. Why did I write Thinking My Way to the Top? You know, there are certain things that I saw when I paid attention to people going into different settings where someone spoke to them. Someone was motivating them. Someone was helping them out with something. Whether it's the church, whether it's a mosque, whether it's a mass, whether it's some type of organization that they're a part of. But when they leave this organization, most people give them the motivation, but then in the end, they don't know how. So I wrote this book because I wonder about this all the time. The second thing that you can expect out of the seminar is something that I created. I can coin this myself. It's called the flow balance effect, FBE. See, I can tell when my mentors are no longer growing. This is key. I want you to put this in the chat. Can you tell when your mentors are no longer growing? See, some of you all are connected to people that are no longer interested in growing. I can tell when my mentor or my leader in the corporation, when they are no longer growing. See, I promised myself that I would never put myself in this position. So I created what I call the FBE so that I would never stop growing. So that people that come to me for wisdom, people that come to me for understanding, they want to build their career. They have a hump in the road that they can't get past. There's a person on the job that they can't get past. There are people that they seem to not like. There are people that they seem to not get along with. So I created what is called the FBE effect. I'm going to tell you what that is. And then number 3, I'm going to show you some things of the mind to create wins. There are going to be certain things that I'm going to give you of the mind to help you automatically create wins. These are mechanisms that help you create wins. You know, I remember playing high school football, and some of you all know I came from the SWAC, HBC in the house, Mississippi Valley State University, proud to be from this school. But it was one thing that I learned even when I was in high school from Monroe, Louisiana. Deion Sanders, he's the head coach now of Jackson State. He has a phrase that I always have, and I still carry this with me today. Deion Sanders states this: if you look good, you play good. If you look good, you play good. There is a success mechanism in your mindset that clicks to automatically draw success to you. So you don't have to chase success. You don't have to hunger for it. You just have to put yourself in position. See, myself, when our team came out and we looked good, we had the best jersey on, we had the best shoes. We performed and always won most of the time. Even now myself, no matter what meeting I go to, my wife can tell you that if I'm going to a new meeting, the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to the store to find a new outfit, because I still believe that this clicks, the success mechanism in my mindset, that if I look good, I'm going to play good. You may be like, I don't believe that. But check this out. Even if you go on a date, if you meet a new girl, you meet a new female, you're going to spend more time preparing for this meeting or this date than you are at the actual meeting. Think about this. The moment you ask a person out on a date, or someone asks you out on a date, how do you feel confident that this person will like you? You try to make sure that you are attractive. So you go to the mall, you pick out a nice outfit, you go and get you choose your hair appointment. You go and you think about how I'm going to look, you put on the right perfume. So you spend more time focusing on how you're going to look before you go to the date. Why? Because you feel that if I look good, it's confidence, baby. I'm going to walk in this room and I'm going to make their mouth drop to the floor because I look good. So, of course, there is something inside of you that forces you to think about this. If you look good, you play good. Somebody put that in the comments. If you look good, you play good. It is something to this that's key. Even in our children. When you pull your children if you find a child that's 3 years old and you put a nice outfit on them and they look good, their confidence goes to a whole new level. But how do you position yourself to always do this? So check this out. So some might ask, why thinking my way to the top? I'm gonna talk about this as I gave this one of the points that I was gonna give you. Why thinking my way to the top? Why was this book written? You know, for so long, many people see me traveling across the world and they always ask me, you know what, Adrian, I see you traveling from place to place in different countries. What is it that you do? And I always take a pause because it's really hard for me to explain to them what do I do and how I do it. So I began to write this book so people can see the holistic view of what I do. But I didn't want to put it out first until I knew that other people can benefit from the principles that I've been applying for 20 years. So I wrote this book again because I saw people go into meetings, but they leave out of the meeting and they don't know the how. You know, have you ever been to a meeting, they get you pumped up, you were super motivated, the speaker sounded very good, he looked it good or she looked it good, and the crowd was pumped up, everybody was excited, woo, 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 woo. And you walk out of this meeting, the first day, you're still excited. You may go back and watch the video. The second day, you may have purchased a program, but you're lost on how to go through the program. So I promised myself that when I wrote this book, that I will show people how to do and apply the principles. You know, one of the main things I do in my career is I am not fast to fire anyone. And I've challenged a lot of executives that wanted to fire people only because they felt that they were not performing at the ability that they needed in order for the business to scale and go to the next level. And I will always challenge them. And I will ask them, did you just tell them or did you show them how to do it? And the answer is always, I just told them. They stated that they had the skill, but the skill that they needed inside this particular setting is completely different. So what I want to show you out of the thinkers community is how to do what I've done for over 20 years. You might say, well, Dr. A, I may not be in your arena. It doesn't matter if you're selling lemonade. It doesn't matter if you want to create a sports program. It doesn't matter if you're creating a music industry or music label. Whatever you're doing, there's always a process. But the process always starts with you. This is for you if you are tired of being stuck. So I wrote this book because I didn't see a lot of programs showing people how to. The next thing is this. Have you ever seen Tiger Woods? I love to play golf. Mike, that was on here too as well. Mike, that was on here too as well. Mike, that's on here too as well. We love to play golf with each other sometimes. So we want to play golf one time so far. And if you ever watch Tiger Woods, when he's about to make his hit, he picks up the grass and allow the wind to take the grass. For him, that gives him a sense of direction so that he can know exactly how to plan his shot. But when I look at this grass, I look at people's abilities. I saw that when I wrote this book, I saw that most people are very terrible at estimating their abilities. And it's just like this grass. Most people estimate their abilities like Tiger Woods is throwing the grass. They throw the grass in the air, and wherever the wind takes the grass, that's the direction that they go into. But I want to help you understand that when you do this, that causes frustration. And you can work in a particular arena. You can have a particular business just to find at the end of 5 or 10 or 20 years that this is not anything that you no longer want to do because you don't have the passion for it. So I want to protect you from this. I want to help you with this, not to be like the grass and the air that Tiger Woods grow. That's the second reason why I wrote the book. The third reason why I wrote the book is this. It's because I saw that this is a major difference here. And I'm going to spend some time on this particular slide. I want you to take some, as Mike say, copious notes, because I believe that if you take notes and you apply these in your life, the rest of your life, you will be attractable. Not just to the opposite sex, that's not what I'm talking about, but to the arena that will provide income and abundance and wealth that you never thought you could have before. But you first have to tap into this. So this is where I really make my money at. Because I'm the person who challenges the status quo. See, it's important for you to be able to understand this. Have you ever been in an interview and you were asked this simple question? How will you deal with an employee that just doesn't want to change? Let me hear it in the comments. Have you ever been in an interview and been asked that question? They ask you this question. It's called a behavior question. How do you deal with an employee that doesn't want to change? It doesn't matter what you do for them, they just won't change. Let me give you a tip. If you cannot accurately answer this question, you will never receive an executive leadership position. I'm gonna pause for a second. I want that to soak in. I'm gonna say this again. If you can never answer this question accurately, you will never receive an executive level position. You will stay where you're at. But I wanna make sure that you don't stay where you're at. I wanna make sure that you have an opportunity to lead a business. I wanna make sure that you have an opportunity when you start your own business, that you can start your own business and you can scale your business, not to start a business and you have another job. Because to be honest with you, most entrepreneurs, they just have an expensive job. They just work for themselves. But it's giving them more stress, more worry, more sickness than them having a job because they didn't know how to scale their business. But let me give you this question here. When I'm asked this question, I'm gonna give you a key. This is for free, I promise you. Whenever you are asked this question, you have to always think that every person is a human being. And if every person is a human being, you have to put yourself in their position. Most of the people that give you pushback and they don't want to change is because they have a fear of future knowledge. Why would they have a fear of future knowledge? Because they feel like if they've been doing something for 10, 15, 20 years, that if you bring something new, then my job is not as stable as it used to be. So now I'm going to push back, or I can't change, or I may say, well, we've always done it this way. Why do we have to change? But I want to show you this, that if you get these people on your side and you can get them buy into what you're trying to give to the team or to the company, then this person can make you look so good. And they will be your best comrade as you go to the journey of success. I promise you this. But as you look at this slide here, it gives you a difference of the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. So I wrote this book because most of the people that I go into the room with, I showed you that I've been to 6 different countries. And if I go to 6 different countries, the thought process that I'm an African-American man going into a predominantly Caucasian city or country, especially when I went to Germany, I was the only African-American there. If I would have had the fixed mindset, it would have caused me to be unsuccessful in this journey. But when I go into the room, I know that the majority of the people have a fixed mindset. So a part of me writing this book is because I wanted to challenge the status quo. You know, most people with a fixed mindset, they don't think that they can grow. They think that my IQ or the way I was born, this is all it is to me. I can't learn anything. Have you ever heard someone say that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks? I know that I heard that all the time. I can go into different areas and they can say, well, you know, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Or you cannot change the wings on an airplane that's already taken off. When I hear these 2 comments, I know that these individuals have a fixed mindset and they will no longer be able to benefit, but I have to draw them in because they have a fear of future knowledge. So the fixed mindset, they have a mindset that I can't do this. It's a hidden fear. Then they say, this work is good enough. We've always done the same exact thing for many years. Why do we have to change? And then the last thing they would say is, this is too hard, because they feel like they cannot learn. You know, there are so many people when the computers came out or the internet came out, they were so afraid of the internet that they end up just leaving the job because they had a fear of learning something new. But there are tools I want to give you to help you stretch your brain, to stretch your mindset to a whole new level, to move over to the left side, the left quadrant, which is the growth mindset. See, when you get to the growth mindset, you see things completely different. You have the opportunity to fight through fear. Many of you all, if you have been with me before, you heard of the story when I jumped out of the airplane. See, I had a fixed mindset at first. because there was a lot of fear of new knowledge. But when I finally jumped out of the plane, I had the opportunity to try a different strategy. I broke out of fear. And I think in my mindset that no matter how bad the situation is, there's always an opportunity for me to get better. How many of you all have ever been turned down for a job and the recruiter or someone calls and tell you, no, it didn't work out well. And at that point, you go into a closet because you feel like, there it goes. I'm never chose for this job again. And you go into a fixed mindset instead of calling back to the person and say, you know what, let me have a conversation and find out what were the gaps that caused me not to get this job. See, you miss important opportunities to change your mind if you have a fixed mindset. I'm giving you something here. So check this out. The last bullet on the growth mindset is this may take some time and effort. You already know that it's work that you have to put out. See, myself, even in writing this book, I knew that it was going to be work. Most people sat back during COVID-19 and just watch more TV, watch more Netflix. They showed that the status of Netflix went up and it almost doubled because more people were at home. But how many people dove into the growth mindset? I was one of the few. I wrote my first book in the midst of chaos because I knew that there was a Kairos with a K opportunity for me to jump in to get ahead of the curve. And so what I'm trying to protect you from is this. Anytime individuals have a fixed mindset, this is what happens. You see this screen here. Individuals with a fixed mindset, it puts them into a position like these large technical companies that never made it past a level of innovation. So what's the difference between the companies on the left and the companies on the right? The companies on the left, they had a fixed mindset. Blockbuster, all of us remember having to get those large $5 or $6 fees for being late on a video. How many of you all used to have Blackberries? I used to have a Blackberry. I don't know if the Trio was a Blackberry or not, but I had a small Blackberry. What about MySpace? Anybody had a MySpace page or Black Planet? What about Kodak? Do you even hear about Kodak anymore? No more. Borders or Marriott, they're still hanging on by a string. What about the yellow taxi cabs? So you think about the companies on the right-hand side. Netflix, they were very innovative. They had people with a growth mindset. But what we failed to think about, the companies that crashed and closed, it wasn't just a company. It's the people that were in the company that had the fixed mindset that caused the company to close. See, we have to look at things a lot more deeper to figure out why. So when you look at this, we just look at Blockbuster failed, but we don't think about the CEO of Blockbuster that had a fixed mindset. Why are we going to change? People will always need our movies. People are always going to come in and get our movies. They're going to always come in and rent our video games. But he didn't have a mindset to think ahead of the curve. So what I'm trying to get you to do today is I want you to break that mindset of being fixed mindset to get to the left side of the quadrant to have the growth mindset. So let's get to what I'm excited to get to. This is my coin process that I created. See, I told you at first that I can tell when my mentor has stopped growing. I can tell when my mentor is no longer gaining knowledge and wisdom that I can grow from. Some of you all are still attached to mentors. Even, I'm not going to say that. Certain people you attach to, you know that they are now growing and you are still committed to their lives. And it's causing you to stop. I promised myself I would not do this, and I created this model. Check this out. The first model is the growth mindset. Oh, it's getting real good in here now. This is when I get into the meat of when I'm giving you something that is so important for you to understand. See, the growth mindset, you put yourself in position to where you are always learning. I posted today that I don't divide the world by success and failure. I divide the world by learners and non-learners. See, the people that have a fixed mindset, they are non-learners. But the people with the growth mindset, you are always growing. You are always learning. See, this is not going to be my first book because eventually the wording in this book is going to become outdated. So I have to keep myself fresh by investing into communities as this that's going to challenge my thinking so that I can always keep growing. So the next step in the growth mindset is the measure mindset. How do you measure yourself? You should never have a goal unless you can measure it. You should never put anything in front of you that you want to achieve unless you can measure it. So the growth mindset is your zone to where you're learning. This community that you're part of right now, that we have created, is a growth mindset culture. It's always going to challenge you to grow. You will never be able to come to my page or to this community and never have the opportunity to grow. So the next thing, the measure mindset, is this, is what path or area do you belong in? See, I know that I'm a part of the business arena. So I get a chance to take what I've learned and I have an arena to where I can apply it. So all of us should have an arena to where whatever we learn, we can apply. See, I'm a leadership guru for years. I never believe in having someone that I mentor if I don't give them the platform to use it. You need to write that down. If you have a mentor that gives you training but never give you a platform to use it, he's not really a true mentor. I'm gonna let that soak in for a second. I'm gonna say this again. If you have a mentor that gives you information but never gives you a platform to use it, that's not a mentor. Because anything you learn, you should always have a platform to use it or direction on the right platform to use it. So what I do for myself, this is something that I created. This is called a flow balance effect. I have areas to where I'm always growing. I'm always receiving new information. I'm always stretching my brain waves. I'm always stretching what I'm doing. See, this technique enhances your ability to absorb more information. And in turn, it forces your brain to form new connections and grows when you practice and learn new things. So when you are forcing your brain to learn new things, then you are forcing yourself to have new abilities. It's just like teaching a child to walk. That child learns to walk through their failures, but then they measure themselves by every step. It's fear, but eventually they can run. So you should put yourself in position to where you are here, you're growing, but then your arena should be where you're applying these things here. See, the next thing is this. Now it's the flow mindset. This is the mentor mindset. You should never learn something you cannot train somebody else. Now, this is where it's really good for me. I will never teach you anything that I haven't applied myself. You should never teach anyone anything that you haven't applied yourself. Why is that? Because eventually they will be able to tell. I'm not going to go into an arena that I haven't applied myself. I'm not going to teach you anything that I haven't applied myself. Why? Because if I can't take you through the flow mindset, if I can't walk you to help you get to the next level, then I'm leaving you with information, but I didn't give you the how. I'm going to say it again. If I didn't do this myself, see, the reason why a lot of people leave these conferences and they don't have the information, they have the hotness or the emotion, is because the people that are teaching it haven't walked through it themselves. So they can give you the information, but they can never give you the substance so that you can maintain it. So what I call the flow balance effect is the growth mindset. You are examining new information. If you look at the bottom, you are examining new information. This is an area to where you examine, you read new information. You see if it applies to your life. You absorb it. You write down the pages. You write down the information. And then the next thing is the experience. Is I have to have a place to experience it. Why? Because now I'm stretching my brain. I'm learning it. And then I'm using it. When I learn it and I use it, I'm learning the application of it. And then I evaluate. How do I evaluate? I evaluate it by teaching someone else. And if the next person can have success, then I guarantee that somebody else will want my skill set because I have somebody else that's an advocate that I know what I'm doing. So check this out. So before we can get through, I'm trying to get through this, almost done. We have to talk about the fixed mindset. And so I want to give you 3 mechanisms of the mind to create wins. I'm almost done, okay? The first is imagination mechanism. See, whatever you imagine, you will always be. Your imagination is something that can create your world. I'm going to give you this. I have tapped into my mindset so deep, and my daughter and I have this conversation, that I can tell when I'm dreaming. I can lay down in my bed and I consciously know when I'm dreaming. And in my dream, I create my world. So deep. There's a tool and a skill set to learning this. So imagination is key to your success. It's called the imagination mechanism. You have built instincts into your thinking, into your mind, that automatically creates wins for you. But most of our mindsets, we're so focused on the losses. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there because I want to get to the end. Number two, the success mechanism is built inside of you. I want you to break this down. What does the S stand for? The S is a sense of direction. When you have a sense of direction and the people that you're leading, it gives you a level of confidence that nobody can ever take away. What does the U stand for? Understanding. I have understanding of what I'm teaching. I know how to do it. I'm very familiar with it. So that when I stand up in front of a crowd of people, I can speak with confidence. See, most people have a fear of public speaking because they don't have the true experience of what they're talking about. So I can stand in front of a crowd of millions and talk to them because I have the experience that I can pull from. So the C stands for courage. Now it creates my courage. When I have a sense of direction, I have the understanding. I have a sense of courage. Now I have compassion. Now once I have compassion, I have esteem. I think great about myself. Now once I think great about myself, I have self-acceptance. I accept who I am. I don't need no one else to believe in me no more. I don't need you to tell me I look good. I know I look good. I don't need you to tell me that I'm fresh. I know I'm fresh. Why? Because when I step in front of the people that I'm coming to teach, there is a level of confidence. You can have your confidence as tall as you want to when you understand these tools I'm giving you tonight. And the last thing is self-confidence. But there is a anti-success mechanism that you have to be aware of so that you know how to break it. It's called the failure mechanism. Check this out. F is for if I don't understand who I am, I'm frustrated. And if I'm frustrated, I become very aggressive. And I'm aggressive at everyone. Notice this. Have you ever been to a place where you're frustrated with your career and everyone is around you and you become super aggressive? I've been there before. To where I was aggressive with my family because I was frustrated that I was not in the right field of my life. So now when I become aggressive, I start building insecurities. So I can't stand in front of people and talk because I don't believe in myself. I go for positions and I really don't think I can get the position because I'm insecure, because I'm remembering my last failures instead of tapping into my success mechanism. And then once I'm insecure, I become lonely. I want to be alone. I don't want to talk to people. No, I'm not going to this networking event. No, I'm not going to this event because I don't have the confidence to go. Meanwhile, people are making deals over your head. They're being successful and building things up that you cannot get. The last one is uncertainty and then resentment. And then once you have resentment, you have emptiness. And I think that's it. I want you to take these notes and apply these things to your life. And in the end, I want to make sure that you grow from what I'm giving you tonight. So what I want to do is I want to open up for maybe 5 minutes to give anyone to ask questions. I'm going to take 3 questions. If you have more questions, I'm going to take them. If you have any questions, let's go with them now. Let's go with any questions. I want to give you a chance to ask some questions. So hopefully that you learn something tonight from what I taught, because this is full. It's a lot of information. Don't want to give you too much. So I want to open up for Q&A. Anyone have any questions? And then we can go through the next phase, and I'm gonna bring Mike back up. Any questions? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to ask questions. If you have a question, throw your finger up or something. So if you have any questions, I can bring you in. Let's go into the question mode. Let me stop sharing my screen really quickly and get back here. Any questions? Any questions? Shoot them at me.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you all clear.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we have Mr. Curtis White says info for help to start from the bottom. I don't know if that's a question or is that something that he wants you to expound on, but he said info for help to start from the bottom. Curtis, if you can hear me, if you can give me a little bit more meat to the question, and so we can have Doc A definitely address this one. Oh my goodness. FBE.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
Wow.
somebody else had a question. Okay, we got two. So
So
go
it
ahead.
says so Michael Beatty says, when do you know you're ready to mentor and share what you have experienced?
Okay, so it took me 20 years to. It's like full circle. I always talk about a full circle, right? This is not for everyone. It was for me. I wanted to make sure that I built my career holistically so that I can be able to respond to every question. So when you think about the circle of life or the circle of experience, experience really goes in a circle. It doesn't go horizontally. It goes in a circle. So as you're going in a circle, eventually that circle will close to where you are faced with every type of situation it is in the industry. And I learned this because I used to admire people that can answer certain financial questions really quickly. But the more I got around them, it's because they have just a lot of experience. So they can poke holes in certain things. So eventually, once you go through that full circle, me, I wanted to go the full circle before I even developed this so that I can have an answer for every question. So the answer to that is try to go full circle, at least 50%, so that you can have experience in every area in that arena. If you don't have the experience, read or find mentors. Mentors, listen, a full circle by yourself is much more slower. But when you have a mentor, it speeds up.
Wow. Wow. That was a good question. Good question. Okay. So Curtis White comes back and he says, how do you start when you are down? And that's a huge question, Doc A, because especially today, you know, in the midst of what everyone is experiencing with COVID-19, a lot of people are down right now. So how do you start, right, when you are down? That's a good question.
How do you start when you're down? First thing is start. The very first thing is to start, get started. So when you are down and you are at the lowest level of your career, when you have the growth mindset, you're not really starting over. You just have a new opportunity. It's a difference. If you think that you're starting over, that's going to get you stuck in a fixed mindset. But if you think that it's a new opportunity, then you have ground to gain. So that means you have an opportunity to connect with the right people to increase the opportunities and the doors that are going to be presented to you. See, I've been in position too as well to where I received certain positions to where it was a lot lesser than the salary that I received in the past. But I just saw it as an opportunity to prove that I'm even much better at this level. And I connected and gained more influence that much more faster when I saw it as an opportunity, not as me starting over.
Wow. Woo. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have another question from Valerie Smith. What was your biggest tool to help you get your mind organized? Oh man, that's
Oh, that's a
deep.
great question.
What
The
was your
biggest,
biggest tool to help you get your mind organized?
okay. See, I had to think about this. I don't believe, check this out. I'm trying to be careful with my words. I don't believe in being hypnotized. I believe you can be dehypnotized. That's kind of different. I know it's an oxymoron. I don't believe in being hypnotized, but I believe you can be dehypnotized. What this means is, just say, for instance, we are programmed. When your phone rings, what you automatically do? You automatically turn to your phone. If a baby cries, you automatically turn to the baby. See, we have been programmed to do certain things all the time. So what I had to do is I had to really check my thinking. I had to pay attention to what are my habits. And I had to look at my habits versus my results in my life. If my habits versus my results in my life did not match, I had to go back and change my habits. Now, if I go backwards, the results that I have in my life, if they were not good results, I knew that my habits were not good habits. So I had to flush myself out. And if I have to flush myself out, I have to put new information in my brain. New information in my brain de-hypnotize my thinking and de-hypnotize my organization and my mindset. So how do I organize my thinking? I organize my thinking first by organizing my life. How do you structure your life every single day? What do you do from when you rise up in the morning? Your success is in your routine. And if your success is in your routine, your thinking will come out to be positive because of your routine.
Wow. Woo, you giving away some muscle tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay, last question, I believe.
Okay.
Again, it comes from Michael Beatty. He says, how do you narrow a passion when there is so much you can do?
Gotcha. Same exact thing here. So you have to find the passion that's needed for that time. What's needed in the, I can be a person that can have large events. I have a passion for having large events, but having those large events, will they be beneficial in this environment now? So I have to look at the environment that I'm in to see which one of my passions are needed the most in this environment. See, I can sell lemonade in the wintertime. I can sell I have a passion for ice cold lemonade. But if I sell ice cold lemonade in Fish, Michigan around this time, will it sell? So I have to peep into to see what is needed in this environment. What is needed right now? What does the society need right now? Out of what does the society need right now, I pull out of my passion, even if it's not the right one that I really love the most, but that's the one that's needed right now. So you have to look at the season and utilize which passion for that season.
Wow. 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 So, oh my goodness. Okay. So that's so good. I want to read this comment again, from Curtis White. No, you got a lot of people saying this is so good. So good. Y'all just wait. So Curtis White says, great info and put in a great way. He said, thanks. I've been helping a lot of people in just that. Get up, start us. What have you learned to project yourself forward? Can't wait to read the book, read the times, and look inside. Wow. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. So if we keep taking questions, you're gonna be here all night.
No, we can go ahead to the next step.
So what I want to do, I'm gonna see if I can share my screen, and let me see if you could enable me to share my screen, Doc A, and that way I can bring up the next portion of what we're going to talk about here. And I'm super excited about this because this has been a long time coming. And
let's see here, I can do this.
You guys, listen, I know just based on the comments alone, you guys are chewing this up, but we are not done. And I know you want to be on here for another couple days, but we can't just take up Doc A's time like that. However, what I will do is share some information with you that is exclusive to you guys that have taken the action and registering for this webinar. So, okay. Yep. I believe I am on now.
You can share it now.
Yes, sir. I think so. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? You should be able to see my screen. Let me make sure. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. Now we can see it.
Okay. Good stuff. All right. So tonight, you guys have heard, many of you have heard Dr. A come from a perspective that some of you probably have never heard before. And again, just take this information. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, when I read this book, it changed my life. It really did, because I was able to take the principles that he was sharing, which was so practical, and you immediately begin to apply it and you see the results. Like literally, I began to see the results immediately. So I was so excited when he said that now is the time to put this seminar together for you guys, because his heart is just to serve the people. It's just to serve people and really just help you be everything that you can be. So what I'm telling you is that now is your time. Now is your time. Obviously, he cannot give you 20 plus years of experience within, a small window like tonight, but it is your time. So here's what I want to ask you. ask you this question. Are you ready to go to the next level in your life? If you are ready to go to the next level in your life, I want you to type in "I'm ready" in the comments. Now, I can't see the comments, but I know based on the engagement, you guys have been chiming in all night. So I know you're ready, but just go ahead and put that in the comments that I'm ready for the next level. Because see, here's what's going to happen. We are, for the first time, going to extend Dr. A to you. And I want to share something with you for the sake of conversation. And that is, I want you to think about, again, 20 plus years of experience that you just heard wrapped and really just packaged within, 45 minutes or so. And imagine what he could really pour into you over an extended period of time. Okay. So we want you to let Doc A help you think your way to the top. Again, let's talk about this. 20 plus years of experience. You can't put a price tag on that. A lot of times we say, it's worth this amount of dollars or this amount of time. Listen, you cannot put a price tag on 20 plus years of experience. Okay. Then some of you guys don't know this, but he has a community of individuals that he has in place that will help you get to the top, help you get to wherever it is that you want to be. Again, all of us are pushing through this pandemic and this global pandemic of COVID-19, but there's people that's in place right now that can show you how to pivot and actually come out of this pandemic on the other side. So we're talking about having access to Doc A's private ThinkCap Facebook group. The information that you will have access to in this group is well over $1,000, well over on a consistent basis. And then, of course, let's talk about this. If you were to go out and try to hire Doc A and his team to come in and just do some exclusive coaching with you, that's going to be a $2,500 value. Okay. So we're talking about a total value of just a piece of what you saw tonight, a total value of about $4,000 that you were able to experience tonight. So here's what we are so excited about. My screen. Okay. So we have a couple opportunities for you. Again, this is strictly for you that took the initiative to actually be a part of this webinar tonight. So the first offer that we have for you is, I'm gonna move this out the way so I can. Okay, so the first offer that we have for you is that we're going to give you access to 3 live sessions with Doc A. If you thought tonight was something else, imagine having 3 sessions that literally just builds on top of the other, okay? And so he's going to talk about how big is your head, right? Because a lot of times when we begin to see success, we begin to become inflated, right? We hear the term all the time, like, don't get the big head. Well, he's going to show you how to recognize whether or not you have the big head, right? How big is your head? Then he's going to show you whether or not he's going to show you how to have the capacity to think big. So many people think on a smaller scale and they think that they're thinking big, but Doc A is going to show you how to increase your capacity to think at a bigger scale. And then, of course, he's going to really challenge you to question, what are you thinking about? He just shared some very critical information, and he helped us to understand how powerful and how important it is to get our thinking straight, to get our mindset straight, to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And again, it's impossible to do that within a 45 minute window, but he's extending himself so you can have a better opportunity to get that done. Now, all of that I just named right there. Now, remember the value, okay, of what you just had was $4,000, okay? So now with this offer, because you were a part of this webinar, he's extending himself to you with all of these sessions for only $97, an investment of only $97. My goodness. Listen, if $97 for what you just heard is not churning your butter, then something is going on, but we're not done. We are not done. Now, offer number 2, because I know that the majority of you are on here right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it this way. All of you are on here right now because on a Tuesday night, you could be kicking your feet up, watching TV, watching whatever it is, whatever your favorite show is, but you're here trying to figure out how to go from where you are to where you desire to be. And that's what this offer is going to do for you. And he also has what we call the gold package. Okay. Now, the gold package is consisting of 6 live sessions, just you and Doc A, 6 live sessions. And these sessions, of course, are going to include all of those that we just discussed, but he's also going to go even deeper and talk about the language of the marketplace. How can you put yourself in position? He talked about getting in position, right? So how can you put yourself in position to be able to capitalize in the marketplace? One way to do that is you have to understand the language of the marketplace. He's going to show you how to understand that. Secondly, he's going to talk about what are you doing in the marketplace. Again, it's a very common question for people to say, well, what is it? Or, what do you do? Right? Who are you? What do you do? He's going to show you how to hone in on that and really just be able to take that reality, that newfound self-awareness, and he's going to show you how to really just expand and be able to pivot and position yourself in the marketplace where you will no longer be denied ever again. And then, of course, and he kind of gave just a pinch, a grain of salt of it tonight, and how to be able to recognize a mentor. One of the things that really stood out to me, and I wrote this down, as he said, I've been coined to say, take copious notes. So I took some copious notes tonight. But one of the things that he said that really struck me personally was he said, any mentor that trains you but never gives you a platform to use it is not a mentor, right? And so I wish I knew that years ago, because there was a lot of people, of course, that trained me, but would not allow me to exercise that gift. And so he's going to show you, he's going to dig even deeper on how to identify the mentor in your life. Okay. So now here's what we're going to do. Let me go back. Okay. So we have 2 offers again. And this is for you that was on this seminar, this webinar tonight. The first offer, again, is the 3 live sessions for only $97. $97. But because we know that you are action takers, we know that you're big thinkers, then we're going to put in place a fast action bonus for you guys that take action now. Okay. If you take action now, here's what we're going to do. If you take action on the gold package, okay, again, this is only $197, you guys. That's it. Okay. We spend more than that in fast food in a week. Okay. So listen, you're going to get the 6 live sessions with Doc A. Okay. Plus you're going to get a downloadable workbook, and those 6 sessions that you're going to have access to, you're actually going to have lifetime access to all the recordings. Once those sessions are over, you're going to have access to it. And now you can revert back to the information over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. Because we understand that if you're going to think your way to the top, and if you're going to arrive to the top, you have to be consistent about your growth. Okay. And that's what this will allow you to do. So here we are. The choice is yours. Okay. You can either look at investing in yourself, because that's really what this is. You're investing in yourself to become better than you were the day before, to become better than those who counted you out. Okay. So you have 2 opportunities in front of you right now. One, again, is the 3 live sessions. And then, of course, you have the gold package, which is going to provide you with the 6 live sessions, the downloadable workbook, and you're going to have lifetime access to those 6 sessions when you guys join in with Doc A. Okay. So here's what we want you to do. We want you to take action right now. We already know that some of you guys have probably been asking for the checkout page already. Here it is. We want you to go to www.adriansingleton.com/gap closer. He's coined as being the gap closer because he is known for showing us how to take the gaps that we have in our lives and bring them to a close so we can move forward in our lives. And he is indeed the gap closer. So we want you to go to adriansingleton.com/gap closer. And when you go there, you will see a page where it just says order your package, right? So when you go to there, or when you go to that, let me stop my screen here. When you go to that site, what you're going to see is you're going to have an option that says order the package. And when you scroll down, you will see where you select either the gold package or you select the basic package. Okay. Now, our thing is this: we want to see you win. We want to see you win. However, we know that the only way that you can win is if you take action. That's the only way that you can win. A lot of people believe that they will get information one time and things will begin to change for them. No, this is an ongoing process. You need to be relentless and you need to be intentional about your growth. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely a way to get you started. Okay. So with that, Doc A, can you still hear me?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. So I know that we are giving away like a crazy package, but I believe that everybody that take action on these packages tonight, whether it's the 97 or whether it's the 197, we want you to get in position. But
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, hands down, those of you who are serious about finishing off, let's put it this way, finishing off 2021 and finishing off 2020 and going into 2021 with a bang, you want to jump in on this gold package. I'm telling you because I know what's inside of this program. You're going to have access to his team. Those of you who said that you want to start a business within the next year, listen, he has a team in place that's going to show you how to do this. Some of you guys are looking at this package and saying, man, how did he do that? How did he put it together? He has that ready for you. All you have to do is take action. So go to www.adriansingleton.com/gap closer and get in position. Here's what's going to happen. Once you get in position, once you order your package, you will receive an email. Okay. You'll receive an email and it's going to give you all the information that you need. We will send the email out. We just want to make sure that we're sorting through who has, what package you come in under. Okay. And once we do that, then you'll get an email. In that email, remember that $1,000 value for the Facebook group, you're going to have access to that. Okay. We're going to send you the link in order to plug into that. And then of course, we're going to offer you more information. Okay. So Doc A, is there anything else that you want to share? And I gotta make sure you don't share too much because, you have that heart to just pour and it just help people. So I'm going to make sure that I kind of monitor that you don't give a whole nother package out right now.
No, all good. No, I really appreciate you, Mike. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your encouragement behind the whole entire thing, because to be honest with you, I know what it cost me to learn what I learned. And I used to be in conferences to where I see somebody offer a package like this and it's $2,500 and I didn't have the finance to do it. So I was like, man, this is crazy. And so I knew that once I put myself in position that I would never tax anyone that amount. And the reason why we're charging is this. The reason why the packages have prices associated with this is a principle. You would never have the added value to your life unless you make an investment. If it was given to you for free, you would never do it. But if it's an investment, you're going to make sure that you learn what you need to learn out of this and you're going to apply it to your life. That's the only reason why we're doing this. But I want to see you grow. I want to see you change the world. I want to see you enter to the corporation and do some great things. And so that's the only reason why. But this is a great opportunity. We've done the research. If you look at any coaches across the world, I promise you, this is being given away. I can guarantee this is being given away. And so I think that's all I have. I thank you all again for coming on here. We don't want to waste time. I want to make sure that you all have value out of this, but we give your time back. Time is very valuable. One thing I want everyone to do, be sure to text the line. Be a part of the text line. I want to make sure that somebody put the text number back in there again. 832. Let's take action now. 832-734-5203. Two things you need to be taking down the text line and then the line so you can get your fast action package tonight that Mike just offered. Take down our website. It's adriansingleton.com/gap closer and then send me a text, 832-734-5203. I promise you, if you do those two things, take care of the gold package and text me, it's going to be something that's going to change the trajectory of your life forever. I promise you this. It's not a lot of things I can guarantee. If applied properly, you would not be the same in the next year. I can guarantee you that.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, Dr. A, thank you. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for your time. I'm excited. I am looking forward to seeing people win. I know it is going to change lives. It's going to change lives. So let's make it happen.
We'll
Let's
see you
make
at the
it happen.
top. Yeah, have a good night. See you guys later. See you soon.